Well, it's a lovely September fall day, 2021, and we're out in the garage, out in the shed. And I know it's been a long time since I made a video. Hopefully we'll make up for that soon, but probably not. Anyway, let's see what's going on out here in the old shed. Flip on the sign. There's the newest edition. Kubota BX25. 25D. Got a cab, of course. Front end loader. A little bit worked over. Let me open this garage, we'll get better light. That's better. So, we got a front end loader. The cutting edge is all jacked up. Bolted on in 4 different places, but 2 of the head bolts are already off. As you can see right there. And right there. So, the cutting edge is pretty well jacked up. See, I was trying to weld it on the edge too, and a lot of that's broke. Now there's a gap. As you can see, there's dirt and all kinds of stuff piled up there. Anyway, heated cab. 3-point hitch. Arms, which is right here. I just took them off last night. And of course we have the backhoe. So I think I'm going to put that back on today. Should be a bit of a learning experience. I don't believe I've ever put one on before. I took this one off. It was on when I got it. I took it off, so I should be able to manage to put it back on relatively easily. I think these arms I probably should have put back up once I had them down. Or once I disconnected, I could still leave the hydraulics on and raise them up. Safe in space, but they do leak down, so you have to make sure to tie them up or hold them up somehow. Anyway, that's the recent, most newest purchase. This is a Prestige with 20 horse. Now has a Kohler command out of a Craftsman. 18 horse. I've had this engine for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And the controls on the original were on top. All the throttle and choke are up here. Similar to that John Deere. I can show it to you on that. So that was the biggest difficulty, was routing these cables. You can see I cut this shield so I could get the this cable over to the other side. And actually what I did is I took took this out and popped this out and replaced one of the cables for a longer cable, otherwise the stock cables would not reach. So, still having an issue with it in terms of it runs, but it wants to lose power, and then it catches again and runs fine, and then it dies again. Well, it never dies. It just doesn't seem to want to stay running properly. So that's an issue. I've had the carburetor off because it was flooding out. So I fixed that issue, but now we have the other issue where it wants to just kind of lose power. You can at idle, when it's not moving, it's fine, and when it's under load even it's fine. It just on occasion it just wants to kind of bog down, I guess is the best word. So we got a John Deere L130 over here. Let's see if we can roll it backwards. Open it so I can open the hood. Is the brake on? Oh, the brake is not on. So you can see on this one where the controls are, and that's basically where they were for the original motor in the Prestige. So I had to replace this piece here. This was the wheel and tire was pretty well broke out. So I replaced the whole spindle. And then the breather, this part here was not connected down here, so I bought a new bushing, and I bought this this piece here, and I was able to bolt that piece in here. I drilled a few new holes, so I was able to bolt it down, and then normally there's another piece that goes around here. I just used some zip ties, so that's held in nicely. So the other issue with that motor swap on the Prestige is the starter. On this one and on the original Prestige, it has this starter solenoid combination, and this one is the same as that. So, you know, I had to install a separate solenoid, because as you can see on this one, we just have a starter. So I installed the solenoid right there, grounded it right there. I know it's not the best situation in the world, but that's the way I did it. Everything seems to work. It cranks and starts fine, charges the battery fine. All that seems to work perfect. It's just now I have a issue. It's probably the carburetor. I probably did something wrong. I don't know what, but I guess I'll take it off again and figure it out. So you can see the band that goes around that breather assembly. So I just used some zip ties instead. What else? We still have a four-wheel drive Conquest. I have it jacked up now. It generally leaks on this side, so I wiped it down and tried to get it free of any debris so I could see where it leaks, and as you can see, it hasn't leaked. So I don't know what's going on. I guess I gotta put the wheel back on and put it back. I tried to get it back to where it was level. I thought maybe because since the front end was jacked up that the fluid was going towards the back. Now the tires are on a couple 2x4s on both sides in the back. but maybe still not level enough. As you can see how bad the leak is. I mean, it leaks all over the tire every time it's parked. So I'm just trying to figure out where the leak is before I go ahead and order parts. I don't know if it's leaking from here around this whole deal here, or if it's leaking somewhere further underneath here or back in there even. This side is nice and dry, does not leak. So, not sure where the leak is coming from. So I'll probably just have to put it back on the ground, put the tire back on, see where the leak is. But as of right now, no leaks. And finally, a Simplicity Regent with the fabricated 48-inch deck. Love these heavy-duty mower decks. Regent, kind of a cheesy front end, but it'll do the job on most flat surfaces and not too rough yards. I mean, if you're mowing a couple acres with this on a rough yard, it's not going to last, I don't think. Anyway, it's got a Briggs Professional Series, 25 horse. It's a 2019. Only has 40 hours. So, it's really nice. Now, I also have a zero turn. It's not here. Simplicity zero turn with a Vanguard 23 in it. I might take the motor out of this and put it in the zero turn because the Vanguard's acting a little funny on that bad boy. Kind of acts like it's running on one cylinder a little bit, or it's got a bent push rod or something. It's not quite right. Anyway, that's what's going on here. I'm going to proceed to moving these tractors out of the way, and I'm going to try and get the old backhoe on the Kubota. So that's it for now. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a good one.